So, hello everybody. So today we are going to talk about layers. So layers is a very important part of digital design because layers allow us to do all the manipulation. Mostly, like 70% of the tasks are done through layers. If you guys have no idea what layer is, then obviously you're not gonna be able to manipulate much. So when you guys say layers, I want you to imagine a stack of paper. Okay, let's say 20 papers, 10 sheets of paper. And each of these papers are transparent. So imagine I put them on a stack, and obviously they are like clear, very transparent. You're gonna see through all the pages, right? I mean, if it's an ideal page, if I put them in a stack, you're still gonna see through because it is transparent. So imagine if you had different drawings in each of the layers, you would be able to move them around, right? Because they're in different layers. Can you imagine? Like a stack of paper, transparent. Each layer has different drawings. You would be able to move them. So that's the principle of Photoshop and Photopea, how the layers work. Now I'm gonna touch base with some very essential information on layers. Let's go on Photopea.com. And on Photopea.com, I'm going to make a new project. I'll make it squaric. So square means both sides are equal. I'll make it 1000 by 1000. All right, and uh, yeah, let's keep it white for now. All right, so this is my 1000 by 1000 page. So layers, it's, you see here we have layers, menu, we have channels, we have path. All of them are different things, but we don't really deal with channels and path at your level because we're not professional designers. But if you were to deal with this professional image manipulation, you would definitely want to learn about channels and path. Channel has something to do with colors, and then path is like there are some bunch of tools involved, drawing, vector drawing, but we're gonna do that later. So layers, like by default, you have a very first layer. If you guys remember, if I were to draw something, look, if I were to draw something, you see it's not letting me draw, but it gives me a message. Select a layer first. So you see, obviously, right now, as you can see, my layer is not selected. Vanessa, how do I know if my layer is selected? You would see the color of my layer be like this. You see, like that means selected. So if I were to have many layers, my selected layer would be that color. But right now, like a while ago, it wasn't selected. Now I'm able to draw it. Okay. Now, so let me show you an example of what layer is. I want to make it transparent. So for that, I want to delete the white color off from here. Okay. So for that, I'm going to use erase tool and just erase everything. It's going to take me a long time to erase it like this. So as you remember, every tool has a set of options on here. So let me see if there's an option to make my eraser bigger. If you guys click on this drop-down menu, you are able to make the size much bigger. Now I can easily erase everything at a couple of clicks. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down to original size. Now, at this point, I want to have several layers. This is layer number 1. How do I add a layer, David? I'm gonna click here. You see, it says new layer. You wanna click on layer, and how many layers I have now? 2. I will add another one, and another one, and then another one. So, let's say I have layer 1. I'm gonna rename it to hat 1. I'm gonna name my second layer hat 2. I'm gonna name this third layer, double click on the name, and then name it hat 3. Now I'm going to get another layer and then name it hat 4. And then the last one, it is going to be head. Okay, it's a background, but you can still rename it to head. Now, I'm going to draw a circle head, but on which layer? On this layer, because it's named head, right? Again, I'm showing an example today. So here, I'm going to use my selection tool, ellipse. Remember, we used it last time. I make sure my head layer is selected and making a circle like this. Okay, and I'm going to fill it in with blue color. I have blue color. Let's, you know what, let's make something brighter. This color. So I'm going to get paint bucket fill. It is being selected. There we go. And then I need to deselect it. What was the shortcut to deselect? Control D, correct. Now, this is my head. I'm going to also make eyes. So for eyes, I'm going to draw on the same head, eyes. And then I'm going to add another eye. So I want to draw a second eye and color them at the same time. If you guys remember, we're able to use a mode called Unite. So here, and then draw second eye here. And now you see the both eyes are selected. Let me make it slightly bigger, like this. All right, there we go. Now let me color them to, let's say blue color. There, and Control D. Okay, so this is my head. Now I'm gonna do a nose using lasso. Let it be a nose. Let me color this to this color. I'm using again paint bucket, color it, Control D to cancel the selection. And I'm gonna add I'll draw a mouth. To draw a mouth, I can do this. I can make a ellipse selection first, and I'm gonna do a subtract. Remember subtract? Here. There we go. And then I'm gonna color my mouth to, let's say, this color. Paint bucket tool. There. Control D. So this is a head. Okay. Now it is on my layer called head. So guys, I'm able to make it invisible by unchecking this little eye here. You see, if I uncheck this, it will not be visible. It's there, but I just don't see it. So it has some advantages doing that. We're gonna see the advantages later. Now putting it back. Okay, now hat 1, hat 2, hat 3, hat 4. I would draw different hats on each layer. So hat 1. Let's draw a hat on hat 1. I'm gonna use lasso. Let's do something like this. Okay, and then let's use unite. And like that. And let's color it to green color. Here. This is hat number 1. So this is hat number 1, right, Joshua? What? Yeah. Okay, now this is hat number 1, guys. I want to draw the second hat, but to draw my second hat, I don't want to see my hat number 1. What do I do? I will uncheck this eye, which makes it invisible. Hat 1, I want to make it invisible. Now I'm going to draw second hat on hat number 2. Okay, you see my hat 1 is invisible. Drawing hat number 2. Let's try something like this. this. Something like this. Not good in drawing. Let's pick this color. This is hat number 2, Control D. Okay. And I'm gonna draw another thing. Let's say, what kind of hats? Let's do sombrero. Let me try. I'm not sure if I can do it. So something like this. All right. And here. And I'm gonna also add thinking how I'm gonna add wait a minute. Let's use lasso. Something like this, right? Let's make this color. All right. I did my best, guys. So here, let's be a hat number 3. Now, I have hat number 1, hat number 2, hat number 3. Now I need to draw the last one. The last one, let's make it, what kind of hats we have? Or let's do the, you know, the European style hats. I don't know what they called, like they're cylindrical. They will put them on there in early, like 1800s in France, but particularly England, or let's do that one. I think so. I don't know what it's called. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add a cylinder like this. Okay. Then I'm gonna use polygonal lasso. Click on Unite. And just do something. Yeah, something like that. And let's make it this color. Or it's black, actually, black color. Sure. All right, something like that. Control D. So you see, I have several hats. Now, if you were a fashion designer, or if you were a store selling different hats, this is how you would benefit from layers. You would have your layers that are shouldn't be visible, invisible, and you would tell your customer, hey, let's see how hat number 1 sits on you. Here's hat number 1. And she says, I don't like it. Okay, here's my option number 2. I don't like it. Option number 3, kind of. Option number 4, I like it, per se. Okay, so you see, I'm able to move things around. So that's what layers are. So I have 5 different layers. I'm able to delete them by choosing the layer and then clicking on this delete recycle bin picture. That's going to delete your layer. I also can lock it, guys. I also can lock it. Double click on the side. Actually, no, here, you see this? It's going to lock it. Locked means you cannot delete, you cannot make any changes. So if some of the layers are very important, you don't want them get deleted, you would want to lock them. Because sometimes accidentally, you might use a brush and just accidentally move it around and then delete it or paint something. So locking would prevent the damage. Now let me try to color it. For instance, I would want to, you see, layer is locked. You're not able to do any changes. That's another advantage of having a layer. Now, tomorrow, hopefully, we're going to have an assignment which involves saving images in different layers. For instance, let me show you an example of doing that. For example, I have this head, right? And my head is made of how many different elements? I have an eye, I have the second, I have a nose, I have a mouth, and then I have the head itself. So it's made of 5 different elements. So you actually could save each element in a different layer. For instance, let's do that. Let's unlock this so I can make changes. Okay, on the head. So I want to go and use ellipse tool to, let's say, select this eye. Okay, after you select it, guys, you're not only able to color it, but you also can save it in a different layer. How? I'm just referring you to right click option. So make a right click. On your case for Chromebook, it's going to be 2 finger touches on your mouse pad like this. And then here you're going to have, you see, layer via copy. Layer via copy. It's going to copy it in a different layer. But there should be also layer via cut. All right, seems like it doesn't have it here. Okay, then let's do it on here. So we're going to select the eye again. So what was the shortcut for cutting? Universal shortcut for cutting, guys. Who remembers? When we select paragraphs, you want to cut something. Yeah, what was it? What was the shortcut? Control X, was it? Control X, right? So you click on Control X, and then you see my eye been cut. If you do Control V, which is paste, it's gonna save it in a different layer. You see here. Now my eye is a different layer. Now click on the head again. Select the other eye. And again, Control X and Control V, and it's gonna be second layer. So let's name this left eye, and then this one is right eye, right? Now I'm able to move them around. To move things around, you want to use a move tool, which is here, called shortcut is V, and I'm able to move my eyes. You see, I can put them here, I can put them here. All right, but I need to fill in this gap. How do we fill in this gap? Let's fix that. Let's go back to head. Okay, and then let's fill in this gap with the actual color. So pick the color, and then let me paint this. You see, I'm filling the gap. There we go. So guys, look, I'm trying to erase my eye. It's not erasing it. Why do you like? It's not painting it. Why do you think it is? Why it's why it's not painting my eyes? You see, eyes. I'm not able to paint it, but I'm able to paint this part of my head. Why do you think it is? Because remember, my eyes are in a different layer, so they are independent. So what you do in one layer does not affect other layers. They are independent. So this layer is all independent. Now at this point, I can move my eyes around. For example, if I want my eyes to be, let's say here, and then the second one could be, I don't know, here. You see? You deform the face. You would do the same thing with nose. You would cut it out, and again, move it around, and then reshape the face. All right, Karina?